There we go. It's recording. All right. So I'm here with Dwayne, and we got some homeless issues that we're going to be discussing. So, what you got?
One thing is about getting ID. ID is probably one of the hardest things, especially with your Social Security, because when you go get it, if you don't have a birth certificate, and if you're not from the state, you ain't gonna get an ID. So if you're homeless and if you don't have any people or any family, you ain't gonna get no ID. And so it makes it that much harder to get a job, home, et cetera, et cetera. Homeless shelters. Homeless shelters with the work. This is with the working people that wants to work. With homeless shelters, depending on what shift you work, mostly second and third, you ain't gonna get no, pretty much no resources because you ain't working on their schedule. Usually they work a 9 to 5 and everything is always closed before you get off work. So it makes it a lot more harder to deal with the resources, taking showers and checking your mail and doing the necessities that you need to wash your clothes to continue your day because these are always closed. Outreach centers. Outreach centers, most of them for profit. Not for all of them, but they just send you to run around. Give you a piece of paper and send you to the next place. You just be wasting your time. When you're working on the streets, sleeping is probably the hardest of all time because you have to stay up to watch your things. Like say for instance, if you got a blanket and stuff, you can't take that with you. So when you get back 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be there. It's so hard to sleep working a regular 9 to 5 job, and it takes away from performance and efficiency at the job. So it makes it a lot harder.
Also, there have been plenty of times where I was kicked off places, and all I wanted to do was just park and sleep for the night.
Right. So you're right because there's a lot of places like the park and supermarkets that they won't allow you to. They don't care if you're working or not because that's their property and they make the rules. But at the same time, if you got a vehicle, that's the only way you can keep your things and work at the same time. So sleeping is a huge issue because you're gonna always be tired, and 9 times out of 10, you stay tired, you're gonna end up quitting your job. That's why a lot of homeless people work temp jobs because they know they ain't gonna hold it down because of the sleep and the stealing and et cetera, et cetera. Homeless people is the worst of the worst because you got homeless people out there that goes against the grain. You work for your things, they steal it. You replace it again and again because you can't watch your things. You can't put your things down, you can't be around them. If they see you working, you're suspect because either they're gonna rob you or they know you got money or something always stupid happens. But they know you have money and they know you got valuables. So it's hard to be, when you're working a full-time job, just don't be around them, period. You have to move to at least the outskirts just so you can have a peace of mind. A lot of homeless people.
Now, it's not just other homeless people stealing from other.
Yeah,
homeless
it's
people.
not all homeless people.
Because sometimes like authorities will throw away stuff, belongings,
Actually,
rangers.
That's against the law. They got to give you 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to give you 30 days.
Because I know the parks maintenance people, of which you already know. I've been with them, and they've told me that
that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. Now, the park and like the streets too different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know belongings get thrown away all the time, and that's without warning.
Right. Because they don't care. But see, the thing is that, like I say, during the winter, you work, you need blankets, you need, provisions, and you can't hold on to them. And like I said, it depends on what shift you work. It makes it even much more harder.
Yeah.
A lot of, I'm gonna skip this one because temp services is just pretty much optional. Transportation. One thing about transportation, working everyday job, is when you start out, you can't get there. So 9 times out of 10, you go by the resource center to get bus cards, they all out because the people just go there and just hoard them, you know.
Or you might have to start work at a time when the buses don't even run.
Right. So you end up walking. So yeah, I've done that several times. Food is a big issue. Food is probably one of the biggest issues of all for working homeless people because you live at a restaurant. So that's like almost a third. That's like a third of your check, pretty much, depending on how much you make. If you make $20 an hour, you're gonna spend maybe $100 in food a week. So that could be knocked down big time because most of your food you eat cold. You gotta go to a restaurant and you can't cook.
Yeah.
So that's laundry.
Let me get something to wipe this up real quick. Sorry about that. Continue. Go ahead.
Laundry is an issue too because you try to keep clean and it's impossible out in the streets.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Especially if you don't got a vehicle, it's even much more harder. I ride my bike clear across Reno just to wash my clothes.
And there's also no showers or bathtubs readily available.
Right.
Like at max, if you're really like hardcore on foot homeless, at best you could probably go into a public restroom and sort of give yourself a sponge bath and just say.
Well, I know. Now I'm going to tell you something. It's a secret. But they do have 4th Street. They do have washing and laundry, but the sad part about it depends on what shift you work. Because if you work second shift, I get off at 2 in the morning, everything closes.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare because when I usually go to sleep, when I get off at 2 in the morning, I probably go to sleep around 5. Next thing you know, I'm at 12, and then I gotta go straight back to work. I have very little time, and I ride a bike on top of that. So I have to do everything on a weekend. I mean, you gotta pretty much budget your time, but it is a lot harder to get clean. So what you end up doing is buying more clothes, or going to clothes shelter, but you end up buying more clothes. Storage is, oh my God, you're going to acquire things that you really need, like blankets, pretty much tents, or miscellaneous things, necessities that you might need. You can't store it out in the streets because you ain't going to own it pretty soon. Like tarps and stuff like that, especially your work clothes, your boots and stuff like that, there's nowhere to put them. So if you don't have a proper storage, you ain't going to own it. Very, very long. And cooking should go with food. You can't cook your food outside, so it is what it is. So those are mostly the issues when you work. When you work out in the street, when you're living out in the streets, because everything that you do is going against the grain. You don't get the proper resources, and there's no resources here in Reno. I mean, it's a little, I think it's 2 here in Reno that's willing to full help. But see, when I was here, and they ended up helping me, one place ended up helping me get a place, and I was working at a temp service trying to get myself together, and the rooming house is full of drug addicts. So it makes it a lot more harder for you to, I mean, keep going, get in and out, and there's always noise. So I end up picking up and leaving because it just got insane.
And where was this at?
Downtown.
Downtown. Now, was this an encampment or somebody's place?
No, it was somebody's place. So it was pretty difficult. So then on top of the stealing, because I own 3 bikes, and they ended up trying to steal that, so I couldn't have them steal it, so I ended up leaving. So it's a lot of it's one of the worst tug of war games you could ever play because you always ended up back in the negative and right back where you started, you know, and it sucks because see, it's a lot of guys out there that's willing to work, willing to save up, and willing to do do what's right, but some of these facilities don't give the proper help because you can't get there in time. There's no outreach at night. You can't wash clothes at night. You know, there's no shuttle buses, none of that. You know, and I'm gonna just call it what it is. Most of these outreach centers, I mean, they for profit. They just want the donations, bro. I've seen I've been to places, man, they just gave me the runaround. I mean, appointment after appointment after appointment. They give you all these appointments till you stop showing up again. So, you know, and that's the reason why they give you all those appointments, because they know one day you're not coming back. And I ain't gonna say no names, because I went through that when I first got to Reno, trying to straighten myself out. And I did more appointments than I did stay at work, because it was insane. And then they don't give you help. They give you the same piece of paper that the other other outreach center has, and it don't make no sense.
And sometimes they'll even gaslight you out of help that you.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's what happened when I first got here. And it's like, man, I could do bad by myself.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of working guys here in Reno that's going through the same thing. It's like it makes life a lot harder when you try to do good, but then you know you had society looking down on you at the same time. You know, they want you to get off food stamps, they want you to do right, but hell, society knocks you down. You know, I mean, all these stipulations, all these rules, unnecessary rules at that, you know. I mean, some people, you know, can't even find a place to make a decent resume. You know, some people don't even got emails. I mean, the thing is when you starting that far in the negative, it's hard to even break even. You know, I mean, it's sad because then, you know, you do got what guys that's willing to do. But here's the problem: after failure, after failure, after failure, some people lose their self-esteem. Sometimes they don't even want to even bother no more. And some of them, I don't blame them. It depends on how strong you are. But
when you've been beaten down so many times, eventually you just
give up.
You just get fatigued. Like the passion is not even there anymore.
Right.
You're just you really don't even want to bother trying anymore.
Right, and I've seen guys like that, man. I've seen guys, man. You know, even the temp service that I work with, we talk about it all the time. You know, one guy said, I got to keep my car windows open so they won't bustle.
Yeah.
You know, it's a damn shame. You know, you have to maneuver around the homeless, the bad homeless, because it is some good homeless. You got to maneuver around the homeless, the cops, society, taxes. I mean, you got to maneuver around all that, bro.
Exactly, and especially what you just, especially navigate around the authorities. But what you just said around the homeless, that's also key too, because not every homeless person is necessarily bad. But there's a lot of bad apples.
Yeah, there's more bad apples than it is good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad apples.
And it's for hell. I know 5 good guys out here. I know 5, and they on that grind every day. But hell, it defeats the purpose of going to work when you spend, you know, most of your check on food, and then some of them get these hotels, and that just soaks through their money. I mean, it just eats through their money real fast. I mean, you got to do what you got to do when it's cold outside, but at the same time, I mean, hell, there's just no other place for a person to do right. I mean, there's no facilities here, even for rehabilitation, even for helping people change their mindset. It's not even that.
How familiar are you with Voc Rehab?
I never heard of them.
Dieter?
No, I don't. I stopped going a long time ago, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped going when I first got here. It lasted about a month before I got tired of them, because they were bouncing me around from place to place. Man, they got old. So I just started going to the temp service. Hell, I did a little bit better during the summer. I mean, during the summer you could do okay, but the winter is pretty bad because it's feast of famine and it's not a lot of work. And so it's even more harder. I got laid off just before this summer, And the whole winter I've been without work and doing what I can. I mean, I saved up a lot of money, but I end up spending it just on the necessities that I need. Because the thing is I don't get public assistance or any of that. You know, all that come out of my pocket. So
you're not getting any public assistance?
now I do, because I ain't no choice. I ain't had public assistance. Oh my God. I don't know, almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
See,
because,
that right there shatters a common assumption that I know the guys that I work with tend to have, like oh, the bums on the streets, they're just getting all these handouts from all these organizations.
oh man,
and
we don't need to
agencies.
talk about that.
And here you've been going about almost a year not receiving any handouts.
Well, I put it this way: with public service people, when it comes to this situation, man, I'm tired of dealing with them, man. I'd rather not have them. I mean, real talk.
Yeah.
You got to go through all this red stuff, man. You know what? You know, keep it. You know, matter of fact, I think sometimes I do better without them. But hell, because at the very end of the day, you're still gonna struggle. I mean, you ain't lost nothing. You know, granted, you know, all due respect, it is some good places out there. Don't get me wrong, and I've seen some. But after a while, you just get tired of looking for the good places. They want to stick you in programs and stick you in. Man, come on, bruh. Only thing that is a money-making scheme, and they know that.
Yeah.
The only thing they want is your social security number, and that's it. Next thing you know, the donations come in, and you know they don't throw you nothing but some used food. I mean, granted, the food is good at the food shelters, you know, because it ain't going to waste. But at the same time, they pocketed it. I mean, I had read on a podcast. I looked on a podcast, and I don't know how true it was. I mean, some of these homeless, I can't say homeless facility, outreach centers make six-figure salaries, and it don't make no sense. You know, especially that lady with United Way. Oh my gosh, she robbing them blind. You see, it's just a big old hustle now. You know, it's like that in California. Same thing. You know, people stop donating because they steal it. You know, even with public housing. I mean, come on, bruh. I mean, why should you have public housing with the people that deserve it? You see what I'm saying? I can understand, yeah, it costs money, this and the other. But at the same time, by not having public housing, you just asking somebody to commit a crime in so many ways. Because see, the thing is by not doing that or not helping them out, they're gonna go in the streets doing something stupid, and then you complain. Then the public complain.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you part of the problem. You know, everybody can't be rich. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because it's okay, fine, I can live with that, but let me maintain. That's the only thing I ask. You know, there is not even enough resources to maintain.
Yeah. Actually, since people are forced into poverty against their will because
Right.
of not being able to get their ID, that ultimately means that it's really not even just to demand ID just to be able to work.
Yeah, it happened. They changed that rule at the 9/11. Yeah, because I had a hard time getting mine. Because I lost my ID. Oh my God, it took almost 9-10 months. And if you don't got a state ID with your address, they ain't sending it.
Yeah. Another thing that kind of ticks me off is they'll throw an application away that doesn't have an address on it. You know, which kind of gets me thinking. It's like, wait a minute, you're gonna yell at these people to get a job, but then the moment they try to, you're gonna throw their application away because there's no address on it. Are you goddamn serious?
Oh yeah, I could name video places that do that. Plenty
You know?
of places. I mean, some people just don't get. I mean, granted, I've seen people get lucky, but the thing is they don't give them a shot because of the stereotype they have.
Yeah.
But see, still, you know, granted, what are you gonna lose? He ain't gonna burn down the building. You know what I mean? He might be a little dumb, but at the end of the day, he still had initiative to do something right.
Yeah.
Why take that away? You know?
Exactly.
I mean, that's a start.
And when you take a person's right to even earn their own money away, how else do you think they're going to obtain their stuff? in
Right,
life.
right.
You know, I mean, how else? And then that's going to raise the crime rate.
Right, and that's what, like I said, you know, the thing when you take away resources, yeah, it starts crime. But see, the thing is it's not in their neighborhood. That's why. That's number one. But number two is like this. This situation ain't gonna get any better. It's gonna get worse. Because the thing is, just,
Especially
like I said,
under Trump's presidency.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's the worst, bro. He's
Well,
the worst.
he's the one. He's the one making policies that go completely against the.
everything.
Well, there's supposed to be some mandates that are in place that if there's not enough beds at the shelter, you can't kick off the homeless in other places, and yet policies from Trump have been going completely against all those mandates.
No man, he's a piece of work, bro.
Yeah.
He's a piece of work. The thing is he made America's situation with the middle class and poor even worse.
Yeah.
Even worse. And you know, the thing is that we definitely more than now need to come together as a country now because now it affects more people. Because you know, with the middle class, the poor, and you know, man, it's gonna get worse.
And the poor is not just only the homeless, even though it is a pretty good portion of it. The poor is also housed people too that may not be in the best living situation.
You know, I had an apartment and I was poor, but I was, like I said, maintaining. You know, I mean, I didn't have a couple of $100 to save that month, but still, rent was paid, light bill was paid. You know, I had food. I may have had $100, $200 left for the month, but at the same time, I'm still maintaining. You ain't gonna get rich quick, you know. The thing is I mean, it is what it is. But then, you know, you miss one check, get sick, or get hurt, or you know, an incident happen, and you miss that week check and can't make that rent. The landlord, some landlords ain't gonna see it that way. And next thing you know, people don't realize they want to check away from out the street struggling with kids, mind you.
35, 42?
With kids. And still, it's, man.
A lot of people don't realize that they're just one paycheck away from ending up on the streets.
Right.
And it's actually a lot harder to keep a job once you're already on the streets than it is to keep a job while you're in a house.
Right, because of all the fire hoops and everything you got to do. All the I'm trying to look for the word. But anywho, it's just it's the obstacles. That's what that you got to go through because it's just way too many to hold the job. And this is for the working homeless people. You know, I myself, man, I mean, every day I got to jump through fire hoops, especially during the winter because it gets worse during the winter because they get the bad homeless people get real desperate because they don't go out and get the provisions that they need. But they rather go steal somebody else's. So it makes it harder on the working homeless person because now he has to replace it. He can't get no fights. He don't want to get fights. He don't want to get go to jail just to hold his job. So you this year I probably replaced 6 or 7 one item. Just for somebody stealing it because I can't find a place to store it. That's why I moved far out of Reno just to hold on to it. You know, and I still got ripped off. So you can't escape them. I mean, they like parasites. I'm sorry, I'm calling it what it is. But it is some good homeless folks here in Reno, but it's far in between. It's way far in between. And you know, and they go down to the temp services work because they can't hold a full-time job if they wanted to apply for one. Because they know one day is going to happen and they don't want to mess up their history or whatever. That's why we go to temp services. Because if we get a full-time job, we don't know what, I mean, we can't see tomorrow. So we plan for the worst. When you out here, you plan for the worst. So when you plan for the worst, it makes things a lot easier. Because you already know something bad going to happen by the end of the week. But
and if nothing bad happens, then you pretty much lucked out. But if something bad happens,
you're prepared. You're prepared.
You're prepared. You're prepared.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, even homelessness is a two-way street. I don't care what you think because I've had the ability to travel through 4 states and watch. Me personally, I don't want to make it sound like segregation or anything like that. homelessness should be categorized. I'm sorry. Because see, the thing is, you got the bad ones, and then you got, the tweakers, you got the, meth. I mean, you got the heroin, but then you got the ones that stay way out in the outskirts to hold on to the things. I stay way out in the outskirts just to have a peace of mind. So I ain't got to go through that nonsense downtown because I will get into a fight and I will put my hands on somebody because they have a bad time understanding.
Yeah.
So I move myself away from that. That's why, the farther you go out in the country, those are good homeless people because they're trying to escape the nonsense that's downtown, or, the infested areas. They don't do that because they want to, they do it because they have to. But like I say, when you do that, it's a lot harder. You got to go get your resources because see, the thing is that you have to rough it because you don't have the resources that those cats got down south. Downtown. That's why there's so many of them downtown because of the resources. Because of the handout.
That's why homeless people down in the small town of Carson City, Nevada, has homeless people that are probably, I'd say, far more decent than some of the homeless people I've met up here in Reno.
You're right. Oh man, it's a lot better. That's why I stay outside of downtown Reno because it's a lot easier. You don't got to go through much nonsense. I'm not saying it's going to happen but it minimizes some of the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the fighting, the stealing,
and not only that, but there also needs to not just different categories of homeless people based on like the type of person they happen to be, but like. Also, there needs to be a realization that there's different forms of homelessness in general.
Exactly.
Not every homeless person is on foot. There's some vehicle residents that are also homeless. And motel living, people you can't get an actual place, so they're resorting to a motel, even though that's expensive. And then they end up facing a bunch of trauma after trauma because of that situation. Yeah. So it's like even that's a form of homelessness that oftentimes gets overlooked because, it's a motel room.
Right.
But you have that form of homelessness, you have the vehicle resident homelessness, and then you have the on foot homelessness. Like there's different forms of homelessness.
Right. It's I mean, hell, I've met so many educated people on the streets, it's unbelievable. It depends on where you at, that's all too. And the thing is they already look at you with that stereotype, but not knowing who you are as an individual. Yeah. And I like to tell people, usually the cats that stay farther out of the city, those are the best ones.
See, one guy told, I remember, my caseworker who's trying to work with me on my Social Security benefits, of which I'm going to be losing, by the way. But he, go ahead.
Right, something else. You can get, oh man, what you call it? I remember it later. But other than that, you can get unemployment.
Yeah.
And that'll hold you. But you didn't know the stipulation? I think it's like 32 hours, bro.
Really?
Yeah. And it's going to be hard to reinstate that.
Yeah.
Because I've been fighting with Social Security disability for a long time. And so, like I said, I gave up, man. Once I got denied 3 times, I'm done, bro. And then find out sometimes I make money, but I got nerve damage in both of my hands. And when it gets cold, it's hard for me to grab things. But man, I got to fight through it every day. Every day, because you can't cure nerve damage. So, especially when it gets cold, it makes it worse. So, they fight. I mean, here's the wild part about it. I worked majority all my life to have nothing, but here's the wild part. They took money out my check. That stepped in itself. Because see, the thing is, when you get unemployment, you can make $500 a month. $500 a week. And unemployment gonna get you like $200-something.
Can I tell you the point I was trying to make with the guy that's trying to help me when I was Social Security? Because there was a point I was trying to make.
I advocate, yeah.
So basically, he was telling me, and I think this is a common stereotype that's not necessarily true. but he was telling me that usually people become homeless because either A, it's mental illness, or B, they did it to themselves.
No.
And that
No.
that is divorced from reality.
Here's
For sure.
what's happening. Regardless of what path they take, it doesn't matter. But if you're insane mind, when you go out the street, give it a couple of years, you'll be mentally ill. So that's how that works. No, you don't come out some guys don't come out of the streets mentally ill after lost a job or, lost a home or, accident, especially if you get a car accident, you gotta wait for the check. Next thing you know, you can't pay your bills, you're out in the street. Any circumstance. But most of them come out on the streets insane. So even with let me take that back. They come out on the streets. They got the right mindset. Give it a few years, they'll lose it. It depends on where you at. I've seen really good people just lose it, talk to themselves and everything because of the stress that's on the brain. People sometimes don't realize how delicate the brain really is once you deal with that type of stress. You got to deal with the cold, the wind, the rain. You don't know where your next meal is coming. That's stress. And then you got to deal with the society. You got all this coming at you. That's stress.
I can remember having multiple meltdowns in my car when I was
too.
alone in my car.
Yeah.
Multiple meltdowns because of reality that I was facing.
Yeah, I went through that, and I just went smooth off. Next thing you know, here come the cops. They got me in handcuffs, not realizing why I'm arguing and pissed off. The thing is I'm pissed off because, when I got laid off, okay, fine. It is what it is. Layoff happens. But it's the other situation that happened that I'm not willing to say.
Yeah.
But when that situation happened, it knocked me back down even further. So, I'll, get myself cleaned up and go back to work and find out that I was a 26-year construction worker. And with my hands, I'm a liability because nobody was gonna put no insurance on me, and I wouldn't do it to myself because I don't want to lose my fingers. So I got to find another profession. After 26 years, I don't know nothing to do nothing else. I've been a laborer and a carpenter for so many years. That's the only thing I know how to do, and I don't want to work in the supermarket no more because that's where I started. And it's like, man, it's a hard pill to swallow. After all those years in the construction trade, to end up right back where I started. It's like, man, it sucks, struggling again. Because even when I was a construction worker, man, everything was good. But see, that one incident, I got stabbed 15 times. I got stabbed 15 times, and that's why I got the nerve damage. I got nerve damage throughout my hands and legs. And that incident right there messed up my whole career. And so this is what happened to me. This is why I was upset, arguing at the world, and the cops that showed up. Yeah, this is what I'm at.
Yeah. So since people are obviously, even people in professional positions are pretty ignorant when it comes to how people end up in that situation, would you mind sharing how it is that you became homeless?
That right there. Right there.
What?
I got stabbed 15 times. I got cut from here all the way to my leg, coming home from work.
That's how you became homeless?
Yeah.
How did you getting stabbed make you homeless?
First of all, I was out of work for 2 years, and then I lost my career.
Oh.
With the nerve damage, you can't run saws. You can't run heavy equipment.
And that's why you ended up losing your job.
Right. So now I got to find a new profession, so warehouses or whatever I can get. Yeah, I started off working in the supermarket and ended up actually going to a construction company and stayed with them for a long time and bounced around for different companies, but I stayed doing it for 26 years. So the nerve damage that's in my hand, I can't run heavy equipment, no saws or anything.
Huh. So, and that is not related to mental illness.
No.
And it's also not related to anything you did to yourself.
No.
Like that guy who tried to help me with Social Security was trying to tell me.
No. That's why they kill me, bro. They kill me. That's why I'm about to listen to them.
Yeah.
I'm about to listen to them. But see, the thing is you looking at it on the outside, bro. They look at it on the outside.
They have their assumptions and they have no clue.
They don't have a clue. That's why I'm willing to do this to, share with people how misinformed you really are about the situation. You know, sometimes it's not about money, it's about well-being. But see, first of all, you got to start with giving them a peace of mind. Some of them can't be rehabilitated because they done went down the path that some of them ain't gonna come back.
Yeah.
But see, you know, some of these cats, you know, instead of locking them up in jail, and these back, I think it was 80, 70, 80s, they just have they get locked up, they get rehabilitated. You know, you learn trades and stuff like that. They took that away. You know, I mean that helped because at least, you know, I had a partner that went to federal prison, and he ended up a cook, but he learned something in prison. So when he got out, he had something to fall back on. They don't do that no more. You know, there's no outreach to teach you something. Only thing, you know, I mean, I believe in Lord Jesus Christ, but they talk to you about Jesus Christ and give you food. That's just not, sometimes ain't enough. You know, the thing is that it's more. It's more problems than that when that individual. Each individual is different, but they put them all in the same category. You know, everybody ain't got the same problems on the street, bro.
What would you like to share? Like any issues with authorities that you have that you'd like to share?
It depends on where you at and what state. If you in the outskirts and you don't keep you don't got trash around, you ain't stealing and doing all that stupid stuff, and keep clean, they'll leave you alone. They'll leave you alone. You don't be lowering, panhandling, they leave you alone. That's when and most of the people on the outskirts, they don't do that. You don't see them hanging out in front of the stores asking for money. You know, you don't see them out there stealing. That's why they're better out there, because you ain't got to go through that nonsense. You know, that's how you can avoid the authority. Is when you do something stupid, that's what's going to bring it every time. Yeah. And see, the thing is some of these cats are so stuck on stupid. I mean, they move from one camp in a peace side and get mad because they got kicked out, and they go to another one and do the same damn thing. It's like, man, the concept of thinking now, that's why I say some of them are so far gone, there ain't no coming back. Because they do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. And that's not how it works. And then, you know, get mad at society. I remember one lady said it, and literally, those are the people like that think the world owes them something. And that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. You know, and then got the audacity to blame somebody else. Bro, I done heard it all.
That's not how reality works.
You have to be accountable for your own actions and deal with your own situation. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you got some logical guys out there, but like I say, they hard to find. They real hard. And mostly they usually hang around their jobs. And that's sometimes the best way to do it if the job allows you to. But, you know, if they know your situation, usually some of them let you hang around there. And that's when the last place I worked, 2 guys just hang around the job. You know, they hated to go back downtown, and I don't blame them. You know, it's like you do a lot of maneuvering around other people, and that's all you do all day. And you better think ahead, because if you don't think ahead, you ain't gonna really have nothing, especially during the winter.
It gets rough.
Yeah, so that's why I got 3 different spots where I got provisions in 3 different spots.
Yeah.
Just because if one of them get going, I got another one.
Yeah, I don't even have snow tires, so I'm glad I didn't have to be on the road 24/7 during the winter.
Right. Yeah, you got to think ahead, bro. You really, really got to think ahead. I got 3 bikes, just in case one get a flat. Bam, got another one. I got heaters, everything.
Yeah.
I got heaters, but I can't keep them in one spot. I gotta spread them out.
And people don't realize, how uncomfortable it can get when you're having to drive 24/7.
Yeah. The way, like I say, the way you just wasting gas, you know.
Like I can remember it was costing me $44 a day just to keep gas in there to control the temperature. That didn't even count the food
I didn't think
was
about that. I didn't think
buying.
about that.
And you know, because yeah, while you're idling, sitting there, you gotta have the car on to run the heater or the AC or whatever it is that you're trying to cool the temperature with. The car needs to be on for that, otherwise you're going to drain your battery. You know, and so I did, you know, so I'd be doing that. And it was like literally costing me $44 a day, not just driving everywhere for appointments and door dashing, but then also just having it run to control the temperature all night while sleeping. Those 7 months straight, there wasn't a moment, except for maybe 2 minutes going into a place and coming back, where that car was, you know, was ever like idled off. Mm-hmm. It was just running all the time, and that's not good for any vehicle.
Yeah, I had a propane. I think it cost me $69, and to fill it is $25. And I had this heater on the top, so if it falls over, it automatically shuts off.
Yeah.
These guys out here will sit there and light a fire and burn down the whole damn neighborhood. You know, and still, like I say, they don't get it. It's windy outside. They will light a match in. I mean, great day in the morning, bro. Yeah. I mean, you can't teach stupid at that point.
It's like,
you know,
well, what else are you supposed to do?
Hustle your money and get it right here. You know, the thing is the heater that I got, I mean, as soon as it falls over, it shuts off. So nothing gets burned. You know, because it got housing around it, so nothing don't, I mean, they don't go out to get the right provisions because they're too busy hustling up for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And then when they see what you got, then they want to steal it. It's like, bruh. And then you don't want to fight them because you end up going to jail behind some piece of crap. And it you know, just don't add up. So you got to chalk that up and buy a new one. Because, see, you know, as soon as they steal, you want to put your hands on them. And you know who did it to make it so bad. You know who did it, but at the same time, you got to walk away because, see, you make your situation even worse.
Yeah.
Because now you got to pay a fine. It's like, bro, got to go to jail and, you know, anger management and all that other nonsense. So it's like everything goes against the grain. You know, granted, you know, God bless the people that made it out, man. I mean, I'm so happy for y'all, bro. Because, see, at the very end of the day, I know the road y'all took. Trust me, I know the road. I remember when I was in California, this lady said, it took her 9 years to get what house? I just shook my head. I said, damn. You know, that don't make no damn sense, bro. 9 years to get a house. Come on. And they was talking about it like, you know, some glorious had happened. No, that's pathetic. You know, now he's taking away Section 8. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even, you know, with these apartments now, you know, they don't have no control over it because the cost of living keeps going up. So rent goes up with the cost of living. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, the rent ain't gonna never stop going up. I remember the last apartment that I used to live in Tulsa. I've been $390 for 950 square feet. I got to California, man, it was like $1,700, man, even smaller. That don't make no sense. And then, you know, greed. I mean, we got to deal with greed. You know, with the privileged people out here, is the greed. It's like, my God, how much money do you need? You can't take it with you. You know, you can't put it in storage. But at the same time, it's like, dang, you know, the cost of living keeps going up because of greed. You know, it's horrible. You know, I mean, after you get rid of poor people, then where you gonna make your money?
Yeah.
Don't make no sense to me. You know, they want control. That's what they want. That's all. I mean, put it this way: you can't control the unwilling.
Yeah.
They tried to control with my race, and they failed.
Yeah.
So you can't control the unwilling. And they're going to continue failing as long as this country go on this colonized society.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to and it's going to fail. This country going to fall because, I mean, hell, you can print but so much money, but that don't mean it's worth anything.
See, and yours are the kind of voices I really want to get on my channel. Well, I want to get all the homeless people's voices on my channel, but but I really want to look for people like you, because I have like one good person that I interviewed, and then another one. I don't think she was mentally all there, but I still wanted to get her up on there, and then the another character who ended up being a meth addict. I got his interview up there, but I really need to get more decent homeless people's faces on my channel. You know, people like you and others that are just in the situation.
Good luck.
Good luck.
It's gonna be hard, but see, the best place you can look at is the tent services.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What I'm limited to is the parks, because every time I go to try to do an interview, I keep being told, no, that's not allowed here.
By whom?
Huh? It happened at the Gospel Mission.
I am not gonna say that. I am not gonna say that.
Why?
No, because he is gonna see. With the mission, like Union God's mission and some of the missions, they do some good. But see, some of the politics, I don't agree with. What's wrong with interviewing people to help themselves put awareness to the situation? You know what I'm saying? It's like they feel like you stealing something from them. Nobody gonna steal your donations. I mean, come on, bruh. And that's basically what it is. I just told them to go to hell. Because if you're standing on public ground, that's your right. You can talk to anybody you want. To be honest with you, yeah, they ain't allowed to run you off. If you're in the middle of that street, they can't do nothing to you. Seriously, that's your constitutional right. Seriously, that's public road.
Yeah.
So if you go down there, go down there. As long as you stay on that sidewalk in that street, you good. You good. Man, I told them where to go. Man, I'm notorious for that because it gets to a point you get sick of the crap, man.
Yeah.
You get sick of it. I spent,
Hey, you're still teaming up with me tomorrow morning, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'm sorry about this afternoon, man.
Yeah.
I found out my friend that died in Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, and that one hurt, bro. That one hurt. I've been up most of the night. And,
Yeah, you lost somebody just recently.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, it's Charlotte Ford. She was a good friend. She was hearing impaired. And man, you know what, man, I miss my friends out in Oklahoma. And man, she was golden, bro. She was golden. And when I found out about that yesterday, I was like, man, bro, there's always a good one.
Yeah.
And she went through a situation like that with her boyfriend. She's from St. Louis, and he brought her to Oklahoma and took her check and left her there. Thank God it's a resource center for the hearing impaired in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's where she went to, and until she passed. She passed of a stroke. I mean, she's been gone for a while, and I didn't find out until yesterday because I'm computer illiterate. So, my wishes to her, girl, man. She was good people. I mean, man, and I don't think she had a family.
I see the hype about Pride.
And the only family she knew at the hearing impaired outreach center in Tulsa. I don't know where it's at, but I know it's there. So man, that really bothered me yesterday. And she been passed a long time. I mean, but being out here, it's hard to keep up with current events and stuff like that because see, that's pretty much not your priority. First thing first, eat more and clothes and trying to keep clean. Current events is the least of your worries at that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's basically just how it is. And, I missed out on so much. And there's one thing, that's why people just lose it out in the streets. People, I mean, schizophrenics start talking to themselves. I mean, it's but so much the brain can handle. Period. Everybody ain't built the same. I mean, I've seen some good people. Next thing you know, give them a couple years, bam. They talking to themselves, walking around, and in the days, schizophrenic, and I feel for them. Some of them I feel for them. I mean, because that's mental trauma at the same time. That's all the scars that they wear. I mean, a scar. Some of them can't be fixed. I mean, and they gonna give them a pill. A pill ain't gonna happen. They put them down into to the what you call it, the psych ward. Man, you ain't gonna do nothing. Come on, bro. I mean, it's nothing to fix that problem, but our society was out there and make it worse. Homelessness is not a mental thing with some of them. Yes, it is mentally ill out there, but no, it's not like it seems. More than half of it, half of the people ain't mentally ill. Trust me. Due time, but like I say, homelessness is a two-way street. You know, you do something bad, end up out there, or you know, a bad occurrence will happen or a bad situation happening again out there. But at the same time, the reason why I say it's a two-way street, because everybody's involved. Period. At the very end of the day.
Do you think that's why? Do you think that's why some people end up finding themselves on drugs because they really just can't handle the trauma?
They can't handle the trauma.
Yeah.
They can't handle the trauma. I mean, that's like I say. I've seen people break, bro. Break. And give them a couple years, and then you got another situation on your hands. You know, next thing you know, bro, like I said before, it's a two-way street. Because, see, you get mad because they come in community and steal. But, see, your taxpayer dollars and your donations, they stealing too. You see what I'm saying? To help these people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that needs to be regulated with the donations. That needs to be looked over, even by, you know, the state, mostly by the state. Because, see, there's a lot of stealing going on with those with the donations. There's a lot of stealing.
You think that there's a lot of embezzlement that goes on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. I mean, can't you see it? I mean, look at the ratio of people that's not getting off the streets. Think about it. Go downtown and look around. That number don't seem to change, do it? But see, the thing is look at, okay, now you got the union guys mission. I mean, they do help people.
Now, let me kind of like ask you something about regarding what you just said there, because you're absolutely right. The homeless issue is getting worse. It's not getting better, and they're supposed to be helping.
Right.
But yet, I've also heard arguments from them saying it's because they don't even do anything to try to help themselves.
Put it this way: teach a person to fish. Don't give them one. They keep giving it, until they get comfortable.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to do nothing, but they keep giving it to them. See, they need them to stay on the streets to get the donations. Other than that, they get the salary. Come on, bro. Come on. If you don't see that, come on, bro. Come on, man. I mean, it's no place. I mean, you got some places that help out people. Man, you know, I take my hat off to them. You know, some people get something out of it, but at the same time, you know, there's certain other places that, you know, they don't care, bro. They just looking for it to get, you know, the donations, get your Social Security number, and that's all. That's why it needs to be looked at by the state. I don't care who I piss off. But see, the thing is that's what you're doing. See, you making the situation worse, not for just the other people out there, but for everybody. Period. But then had the audacity to sit there and argue about it. That's why I say it's a two-way street.
So I mean, so you think that so for the guy who said who wants to blame them for not doing anything, but then that's also gaslighting very real mental
They
issues.
making it worse because they keep giving them things.
Yeah.
They don't earn it. They keep continuously giving them food and all this other stuff, clothes and stuff, to where they get comfortable. And they don't want to do it. They go to the next resource center to figure. That's why there's never no bus cards, because they don't work them all. That's why the working guys that's on the street can't mostly use their resources because there's nothing left. So that's why we take off. Because there's nothing left to help us.
Yeah.
See, the thing is they keep giving, but they're not teaching them to do anything. I mean, granted, you know, there's some places that help. You know, you got, you know, centers that help.
Are you living on the outskirts of town right now?
No, I'm getting ready to come back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stay down there because I'm gonna commit a crime. I know it because see, the thing is I got 2 expensive bikes that I paid for, and I already lost one. No, and I got a few things, you know, with my tent and all my stuff I paid for out of my pocket. I didn't go dumpster diving or anything. I earned that. So I have a hard time swallowing that pill when my stuff gets stolen because nobody gave it to me. And so you go to defend that. You go to defend it. Next thing you know, you in jail because you assaulted them. I've seen that 1,000 times. 1,000 times. People get their bite back and get into a skirmish. The dude that first throw the first punch in jail. And I've seen that so many times. I lost my mind. That's why I just take this, take it and just walk away. Because at the very end of the day, there's no accountability when they do it. See, the thing is the bad homeless people are the biggest cowards in the world. Because they do it to each other because it's easy. Because a person is vulnerable. See, they don't do it no place else because it's easy. That's why, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I catch them, I'm gonna put my foot in their behind. Period. Because that's why I don't live downtown. Because at the very end of the day, I earned mine, bro. And there's no accountability. That's why they keep, I've seen 10 people stealing the same bike, bro. It's ridiculous. They sit there on the street and brain dead. Don't even think about trying to get situated. Some people do, some people don't.
So, what are your thoughts about the people that live over on John Champion Broadhead?
I don't even know where that's at.
No?
No. I don't go nowhere in Tulsa. That's not. No. Yeah, but why? Back and forth to my tent and to the work. That's it. Yeah. That's it. And I go watch
that's where I was getting my other interviews that I have on my channel.
I don't even know what.
It's a downtown park. It's along the river.
Oh, I know where that's at now. I know what you're talking about. I didn't know that was the name. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been over here a long time. I've been over here a minute. I left in the summer because they started to steal one of my bikes, and I just took off. I said, because I paid pretty penny for it, and I took off because I'd hurt somebody by that. But see, the thing is that that's the sacrifices you got to do. I needed that bike for transportation to go to work because I work second shift, so that means the bus on my line doesn't run. So I ride my bike. Those are the things. Like I said, you got to think ahead. Other than that, you get caught. You got to, because at the very end of the day, it's guys, at some of these tip services that ride their bike, bro, that's their transportation. They don't care. They steal a bike, now they can't go to work. It's like a vicious circle, man. And now it knocks him back. Now he got to work another temp job to make up the money and get him another one. Over and over and over again. They found a way to cut U-locks, chains, bro. They relentless, bro. They spend more time figuring out how to steal than how to better themselves. And that's the bad one. I'm gonna call it the way it is, bro. But then make you go there or make you do something to them, and then they play the victim. It's like, bro, please, that's why I don't go downtown. That's the major reason why I don't go downtown. Person got mad at me because I wouldn't allow him to steal my bike. You know something? Where did these people get off? Seriously, that's that far gone. That's, bruh. That's entitlement to insanity.
He actually got
mad. Because he got caught.
Because he got caught.
Yeah. Mad at me because I, bro, please.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm still working with it, bro. It's gonna be a while. I'm still working with it.
Shouldn't you have been the one with the right to be angry, not him?
But see, it goes to show you how long they've been doing it.
Yeah.
His cats can walk around with bow cutters. That's one of the reasons why my bike is so wild. They walk around. They already bust one of my good U-locks, a good one.
And you don't even have a storage unit.
Yes, I have a buddy that I store my things on.
Okay.
And then I got 3 other spots where I stash some stuff, just in case something happens. So I got it. See, one other thing I do is during the summer, I get all the provisions I need for the winter because I don't know what's going to happen. And just so happened, I got laid off about a couple of months before winter. And so I had all my provisions. That's why I didn't go without nothing. I saved up about $3,000, and I lived off of it for months.
Huh.
But see, the whole summer I just got provisions, blankets, and everything I needed. I had 2 tanks, everything I needed, cooler, food, canned goods. I had to worry about nothing. And see, when they see that, first thing I had to do is steal it, not knowing that you went out your way to get it. You know, and you know, like my socks, underwear and stuff, man. I remember somebody stole my underwear, bro. I said, "You can't be serious."
Somebody stole your
Yeah,
underwear?
bruh.
That's kind of disgusting.
Man, look, I don't put them past nothing. But you know, you got some good ones, man. I ran into a lot of good ones.
Let's try to get us both in this.
I ran into a lot, it's far in between, but those were pretty good guys.
Yeah.
Because everybody was on the same page and we know how each other feel. But then, you know, when we talk about it, it's just no solution. You can talk about it all day. But see, I think it's a solution if we all band together
Yeah.
and make it easier. It'd be a better solution, but see, the thing is that we have to be strict amongst each other.
Yeah.
Because see, you know, we human, we're gonna make a mistake, but at the same time, to find the good ones that's willing to come together and put, you know, pencil to pad to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because at the very end of the day, this society ain't gonna do nothing but let us down. Period.
Yeah.
They already proved that over and over and over again.
Oh, I know. And, you know, and this project that I'm starting here, putting the voices of homeless people out there, like I've been kind of doing this on my own, but you know, but you said you wanted to team up.
Yeah, hell
and
yeah.
I could definitely use the help in that regard.
Mhm.
I could definitely use the help.
Yeah, so no, man, I'm all in, bro. I mean, because see, the thing is, it's the pain to see your accomplishments. Because I was raised in North New Jersey, and then to see my accomplishments go up to be knocked back down by society. That's a hard pill to swallow. I could see if I was going out there chasing drugs and getting high and drinking and all that, but by society. I started off working in the supermarket, ended up back in the supermarket. See, that's a hard pill to swallow. Hard pill. Man, so
It takes a real blow to your own ego, let alone your own self-esteem.
Right.
It kind of
right.
gives you this feeling of inadequacy that just doesn't
Right.
go away.
All that training, useless. Useless. And, you know, I mean, it hurts, you know, and I ain't got past the pain because, you know, it still hurt. Every now and then I think about it, but I don't got past the pain. But the thing is when you get out here, it's just excruciating. It's excruciating. It's like, what the hell did I do so wrong? But at the same time, you know, you gotta understand something. You can't keep dwelling on it, or you're going to end up talking to yourself.
Right. So we've already been going for, an hour already. We should probably end this soon.
So I be on time Saturday, man. That was my fault.
All right.
I got to clean it and
No problem. So we're going to go ahead and end this right now. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for this interview, and we're going to stay tuned for the next.